Hey, if you're a real estate agent and you're creating content for social media, are you creating seasonal content or evergreen content? What is the difference between the two? Well, in this video, we're going to break down the big difference between seasonal content and evergreen, which one is going to work better for you, especially in the long run. And if you stick around till the end, we'll share with you the exact strategy that helped us generate $275,000 in commissions in just the last 75 days. And we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you're a real estate agent that wants to grow your business without cold calling, door knocking, or spending a ton of money on advertising, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications. That way you can learn the exact strategies that we implement in our business to do this every single day. My name is Levi and my partner Travis and I, we get calls and emails every single day from agents, brokers, and team leads just like you. And you looking for help to grow their business online, especially with YouTube. So if you feel like we could possibly help you out, feel free to schedule a call or shoot us a text or send us an email, all in the description below. So as we mentioned, we are getting into the big difference between seasonal content versus evergreen content. Travis will jump in here in a second on the evergreen side, but so just think about seasonal content and you're probably, or you may be wondering, what is the difference, or you may have not even heard that before. Well, think about this. Think about, you've ever heard during Christmas time, right? People want to hire seasonal employees for Christmas, which means they're only going to be there temporarily. They're just trying to capitalize off the Christmas holiday, right? So if you think about it, if you're creating content that is only specific to a certain time, well then it's not going to serve everybody, especially whenever they're looking for that content. And this is where we see a lot of real estate agents make this mistake, is they create seasonal content such as producing a video, or especially on YouTube, they create a video about their open house, which is Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 o'clock on 123 Songbird Lane. And nobody, that's just not relevant to anybody. They would have to find that video specifically at the exact time that you're having that open house, because the minute that open house is over, then that video is not going to be relevant to anybody at that time, especially if you're doing listing videos. If you're doing general listing videos of just a generic $400,000, $500,000 home, 4-bedroom, 2-bath in a certain neighborhood in a suburb of Dallas, Texas, that is also seasonal content, because the reality is if somebody finds that video, likely, especially in this market, that home is probably going to be sold after 1 or 2 weeks. And so when people come across that, it's just not going to be relevant, especially whenever it's one specific house. It doesn't tell them anything about the area, the neighborhood, or the surrounding, other homes in that area. So therefore, you'll see this if you look at a lot of real estate agents' YouTube channels. They have a low subscriber count and they have an even lower view count. A lot of those videos will have not even break 100 views, and they'll be on there for 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 months. And the great thing about YouTube is that you can actually gain momentum with the right type of videos. And that's where an evergreen strategy comes into play.
Yeah, and I like to actually think of it also when you say seasonal, I like to call that temporary. It's not permanent. And there's many, and I want y'all watching this, to really understand. My background is in marketing, and I have ran campaigns on Facebook and Instagram and Google for brokers all over the country and Canada. And the thing about an evergreen strategy, this is the most important thing that you could ever implement into your business. And I really mean that, because if you're running ads are also a temporary or a seasonal thing. And when it's evergreen, that content lays there forever, which is why YouTube is the most powerful platform on the planet. And it's the most powerful drip campaign on the planet as well, because if you are paying for advertising on Facebook or Google, you're having to put $10 a day, $20 a day, $10,000 a month. And in order to do that, you're putting your content in front of people every single day, but you're having to pay to play. You're having to pay to play. And as soon as you stop paying, what happens to your content? Where does it go? Are you getting any business from that? Are you generating any traffic from that any longer? No, you're typically not, unless you spend years and years and years paying for traffic when there's just a better way. But you could pay for traffic, and you could build your email list and your cell phone list, and you can build this big old database of people who, you know, may have clicked on one of your ads. And yes, that does work. But if you don't constantly do that forever and ever and ever, that material goes away. So one video or one ad or one open house, you may spend, you know, $5,000 on a multi-million-dollar listing, and then as soon as that, you know, that advertisement is gone, your content is gone, and then who else is seeing it? So you have to find a better way to run your advertising, to build your content, to build your strategy. And that's why we want to continue to go over what the difference is between evergreen and, you know, a seasonal content strategy, because they're completely different animals, and an evergreen strategy is by far the most powerful, I mean, I think, in my experience, on the planet. It really is.
Right, and let's go back to, what does evergreen even mean? From the fact that if you think of an evergreen tree, you know, an evergreen tree keeps its leaves all year long. So no matter what time, no matter what season, what day, what night, what weekend, it always has its leaves. So that's the type of content you want to create that will be relevant for your ideal client anytime they find it. It doesn't matter what time of day, what time of night, the weekend, the month, or the time of year. When they find that piece of content, it will be relevant to them. And that's really critical, because on YouTube, you are reaching people 24/7, 365. It doesn't matter what's going on. There are people watching your channel. I don't think I've ever seen, you know, now that the channel has the momentum, maybe in the very, very beginning, but after the channel is a month or 2 months old, we've never had a 24-hour period where there is a zero at any hour, which means people are watching our real estate content at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and 4 a.m. in the morning. So I would even go back to say, if you think about lead generation as well, kind of like what Travis was saying, that if you're cold calling or door knocking, you could consider that seasonal lead generation, because you're only doing it during a certain time, right? If you're making calls every single morning for 2 hours, the second you hang up that phone, your lead generation stops. So technically, you could consider that seasonal for a 24-hour period, right? Because you're only able to lead generate for 2 hours, to where we're making this video right now. It's going to take us 15 minutes, well, maybe longer, depending on how many takes Travis
how many takes I take
takes to get in there. But you know, once we create this video, this didn't take us 20 minutes to make. It's actually making us hours and hours and hours and hours. And the thing is because we're picking a topic. This is a great example right now. We're covering a topic that is going to be relevant forever in when it comes to not just real estate, but in general marketing strategy at all, because seasonal versus evergreen content applies to marketing overall. However, what we're talking about today is how you do that in the real estate, you know, industry. And so when we create videos, we're creating videos that are relevant to people. And so that's when we address, you know, pros and cons of a certain area or the neighborhood, or what does it look like. And that's ultimately what people are coming to the platform they're coming to YouTube to see. They're coming to see what your city looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like. So, and yes, people can get that through video.
Oh, definitely. And another thing is, like with the evergreen content versus an ad strategy or a temporary type of strategy that you're going to be using. Yes, on certain platforms, you can decide on when you're going to run your ads. Like if you wanted to run your ads from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the afternoon, you can do that to cut down on wasted ad spend. But what about your audience that's looking late at night, who's stressed out, they just got a new job, or they're trying to relocate and they're sitting in their bed at midnight, right? They may not run on your ad, they may not see your ad on Facebook or Instagram, because that's not where they're going to search to figure out their problem, to solve the solution to their problem, which is that they have to move, right? So if you can limit yourself too much by running advertisements on certain days, or you can spend and waste a ton of money letting your ads run around the clock to get views, to get clicks, to get leads, whatever whatever strategy is that you're using, you could be wasting a ton of money. Whereas on YouTube, if you learn how to do it for free, which you totally can do this, everything that we have ever done and generated has been completely free on YouTube. We've never spent a single dime advertising, but we will notice that people are up there on their TVs, they're on their laptops. They're not like normally, like on Facebook or Instagram, you're gonna see like 90% of these people are on their phones, or 95% of these people are seeing your ad on their phone. They're not necessarily having the time to sit and to take it seriously. That's where YouTube comes into play. People are sitting, they are seriously thinking about, you know, where are they going in their life. They are actually looking the stuff up. So we have views coming at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we've literally had people who messaged us at like 11 o'clock at night, okay, and the very next day they were in town, they were having a bad experience with their realtor. They watched one of our videos at 11 o'clock that night. The very next morning, Levi messaged them back at like 8 o'clock in the morning. By noon, we had them under contract with a brand new construction property and saved them $20,000. Long story short, finding this property, and it was all free. It was all on YouTube because we created this content, and that content lives on YouTube forever. And it really is the best, you know, drip campaign, because we had created that video weeks ago or even months ago. We have people hitting us up every single day from videos that we created 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago. We just have a very strong call to action. Hey, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we're happy to help you make a smooth move. And so as long as you have a good content strategy and you put your content where it can live forever, aka YouTube, and have that call to action, you are going to have massive results in your business. And it's just a much smarter play, and it lives forever. And I can't stress, I have been in this business for 5 years generating leads, so this is a very hot topic for me. It's something I'm very, very passionate about, because I was so scared to get on camera that I never did YouTube for 5 years, and I just like, I want to slap myself in the face like all the time, because it's just such a better strategy. You get better clients, better results. It's just all around. I mean, I love that the evergreen strategy, definitely.
Yeah, and actually we've got a couple of other videos, kind of like what Travis had mentioned, where discussing the difference between interruption and intention-based marketing.
Yeah, make sure you check it out.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that when people are on Facebook or Instagram or these other platforms, you know, they're in the line at Chick-fil-A, right? Yep. They're killing time usually. They don't go to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok with intention, right? Nobody ever says, hey, it's time to buy a house. We have to move across country.
Let's go to Facebook.
Let's go to Facebook and, I don't know, let's figure it out. No.
I can tell you where I'm at 9 times out of 10 on Facebook.
You're right. Yeah, you're checking out you're just getting caught up. You're wasting time. You're killing time. You're in line. And so that's, like Travis said, over 55% of our traffic comes from TV, tablet, and computer, which means people are sitting down ready to consume this content. And you want your content to be evergreen. You want it to be relevant to that person whenever they're finding it. And just like Travis said, we have videos that we produced several months ago that still are getting the views. Actually, some of them are even gaining more traction now, which is the beautiful thing. Yep. If you've ever posted anything on any other social media platform, it lives and it dies very, very quickly.
Very quickly.
Unless you want to pay for it to keep going.
Yep. Boosting it.
And like Travis said, the day you stop paying, that's why it says daily budget, right? Because the day you stop paying, you're
done.
Yep.
Well, I think I want you to kind of also expand on the compounding time theory here, because I mean, it's you've heard of compound interest, right? Where it gains momentum and it gains money over time. Well, we've come up with a theory. It's this compounding time theory, and it really is. I'll let you explain it, man.
We actually got a video on that.
Oh, we do. So check that video out too. Then never mind.
So I'll save that for another time. Yeah, go check out the other video on how to compound time, which it is a very, very.
You got to check it out.
Yeah, it's really important on that concept. So I think this really, hopefully, this gives you some value and helps you understand a little bit better on the difference between seasonal content and evergreen content. By the way, if you click on the upcoming video, we are going to show you exactly how we were able to turn evergreen content into a multi-six-figure business in our real estate business just within a few short months, and how you can do it too. So click the upcoming video. It should be right up here. And so until next time, well, we hope to see you at the top.